Hey everybody, how you doing? Luis Mendoza from Luis Mendoza and Associates here, welcoming you to Sip and Learn. Sip and Learn San Diego on Tuesdays. Like I said, we're going to do Mexico sector, and on Thursdays we're going to talk about the U.S. So I'm pretty excited. Last week we had somebody from Cabo San Lucas. This time we have Alvaro here from Riviera Maya in Cancun. So I'd like to welcome him. And what we're going to be talking about is talking about the whole, what's going on in the area, what's going on in Mexico. Alvaro, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Thank you, Luis. Thank you for the invitation, and hello to everybody. Very excited to talk about this. So ready to go.
Perfect. Yeah, so basically what we're doing is I met Alvaro a couple of weeks ago in a seminar, webinar. We're going to be working together on some projects in Cancun and in the Riviera Maya area. So what it is, what I liked about it a lot is I was telling them earlier is that I like the product. I like, what you can get for pricing. We're going to talk about what's going on in Mexico, what's going on during coronavirus, how you can set yourself up, be ready to purchase. Because as I said in the past, people are like daydreaming. They're going, I want a beachfront property just in case this happens, or have an investment down there. It happens again, and I can make money on it, and also at the same time have it as a backup. So Alvaro, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Luis. So my main focus, I have co-founded and consulted many companies throughout the years, but my main focus has been on investment, right? Investment in different vehicles. One of my favorite favorites is real estate in different markets, nationally, internationally. So what we do here in the company is we search for the best investment opportunities in different markets, so we can we search for the best investment opportunities in different markets, so we can help our investors make the best decisions, right? So, and we've been investigating different markets, and right now, Riviera Maya in Mexico makes a lot of sense. Part of what we are gonna discuss about right now, and we can talk about different markets and the characteristics. But yes, I mean, I've been involved also in the part of the doing business in the tourism and what do you call it in English? Hotel management, which is part of it, right? And we're going to talk about how that is going to evolve with the changes that are happening right now worldwide.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit of what's going on. How you doing? First, your family and everything. Everyone all right over there with coronavirus? I know that you guys are a little, we're ahead of you guys as America. You know, you guys are just went through the whole, you know, closing, shutting everything down. How's everything down there?
Yes. We are right now in the quarantine. We're about to, you know, restart activities, right? Actually, you know, it's going to be in a couple of weeks. We restarted a few activities, like the most essential ones, but we're going to go in phase 2 where we have a lot more activities. We are doing well. I mean, as a country, we are one of the most affected, and we've been growing in the number of infections, but we are we had that advantage that we saw what happened first, and we have been learning and taking that into account. So that, in a sense, it was helpful, right? Not that we are glad what happened everywhere else, but at least we were able to, you know, capitalize on it, so we don't have that problem here.
Okay, that's awesome. So tell us about Riviera Maya. What's going on? What was happening before COVID, before all this stuff, before the quarantine and everything like that? Tell us about the boom that's been around, a little history, so people know it's in the east part of the country, Mexico. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, Riviera Maya has been a very special place, you know, back when the Mayan culture was, you know, ruling the world, right? And many years ago, right? It was even a very special place just because of all the, you know, nature-wise, you know, all the richness in the place is, you know, a great place for many reasons, right? Very strategic in the world. So that has been going on for many years. Especially in the investment and real estate investment world, it has been, you know, going on with a very, you know, accelerated growth in the past few decades. We're starting with the Cancun airport, right? Cancun airport became the most important airport in the whole continent, American continent, for the number of flights flying directly from different parts of the world, right? So it has been growing in the last, you know, 4 to 50 years. From that, that's when it started. And in Riviera Maya, it's been developing in different places, right? Riviera Maya is a whole region comprised of many cities, not the only one is Cancun. It has different characteristics, and we have been learning, right? On with, you know, rapid growth, you have things to learn for the next city that is being developing, and so we've, you know, right now we've been learning for many decades now of, you know, rapid growth, and we have capitalized on that in this new market that right now there are things with a very specific market characteristic for they're very attractive for investors, right? And we have different parts, right? For the early investor that has that wants all the potential just when it's starting, we have markets that have that characteristics, and we have markets that are, you know, already have the first phase pace of rapid growth, but everything is more defined for the more conservative investor. And, you know, all the best areas are defined, the best developers are defined, but you still have a very healthy, you know, price curve that you can capitalize on, right? And, you know, Mexico as a market, as a real estate market, I think is a very attractive market because, you know, compared to different markets, we don't have as many, well, as much, what do you call that? The thing is, what do you call lending, right? The lending, we are more strict with the lending, so the price are real because it's a more cash market, right? If you compare it to the States, you know, in the United States, sorry?
It's not inflated.
Exactly, right? Because in the United States, you lend to people up to 70% of the gross domestic product. In Mexico, we lend only 11%, right? So we are more strict. We don't have as lengthy, we don't have, you know, 30 years mortgages, traditional. We don't have many mortgages on the same property. We're more strict on that sense. So that makes it a very attractive market in that sense. Even right now in the Riviera Maya, it's especially more cash only, right? So that's also another good point. And as you were saying in the beginning, we have a very attractive, you know, price points right now. Even compared to where you live, right? San Diego, California, you'll be surprised, right? When we hear from people from the States, right? Or you have these, you know, beach properties at this price, you know, people get very surprised over the price points that we have down here. So that's something that we can see.
Let's talk. I want people to know the airport, for example. You have, I was just actually last year, right now, today, I was in Cancun. I was giving a presentation. I was a special speaker. I was invited as the main speaker for Century 21 Mexico for the top 21 owners. Literally, I just saw it on my Facebook. It was today, so it's kind of funny I'm talking to you, you know. And I was shocked and surprised how many different airlines are coming into the airport. So which country? You have European countries, you have, you know, people from the South America coming in Cancun. What do you have? What kind of demographics per se internationally that are coming in?
Well, actually, I mean, it's been growing constantly, right? Just last year, we opened 20 new countries, right? So we have people from, well, last year we opened from Russia, some parts of Russia, Eastern Europeans, we have, you know, South America, we have, of course, North America. We've been open for many times. We have a lot of, you know, options, right, to fly from different parts of the United States and Canada. We have, even from Asia, a lot of business from that area also. So it's a very international, you know, destination, right? And we have investors from all over, right? From all over different parts of the world. And that's something that it's, you know, very special for, we're very international investor friendly, right? In the sense of we are pretty much all the market is rated in US dollars, right? So it's easier and that provides protection for you guys. But also, you know, we have law firms that understand international law, that speak different languages, that understand different business cultures. And Mexico as a country is being growing in the sense of being more friendly to investors. So it's easy for international investors to invest in Mexico, especially from the States, right? I mean, we are very close to you guys in the States, and a lot of the international investors that we receive come from the States also. So we are very used to that part, right? So, but yeah, and it's been growing. In that specifically, Luis, let me tell you something about that that helps a lot. Since we are an international market, it helps us a lot because we have people traveling from different parts of the world that have travel specific dates of travel different, right? The spring break for Argentinians is different for States, from Canadians, from different parts of the world, right? So we have people coming all over for different reasons throughout the year, right? So that's another thing, right?
That's good. It's a good, it's a diversification of vacation people. It's not just a spring break from the US. It's not just a spring break from Mexico. You got South America. You got the Europeans to start summer vacation early. Like, for example, in Southern California, we don't start summer vacation until mid-June to end of July. But yet the East Coast starts earlier, so you get some people and all stuff. And what I did notice, a lot of the people that travel over there, they go for like 8 days, 7 nights, right? They go for a week or 2 weeks, right? For them
exactly.
To stay.
Yeah, there are many things to do there, right? I mean, you can come many times and do each one different things. You have, the parks, we have theme parks, we have, the beautiful beaches, you have cenotes. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you've been to cenotes, right? I mean, this underground water, natural beauties, right? That you can see. The caves, right? You can dive. We have one of the coral reefs, like the second largest in the world. So you can dive and snorkel evening, right? Because in Australia you can only dive, right? You cannot snorkel. But I mean,
and diving. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You can do both here and down in Mexico, right? Mm-hmm. And even you have one of the 7 wonders in the world, right? The Mayan ruins, right? Yeah. So you have many things to do. You have a great cuisine offer, different restaurants, beach clubs, museums. You have many things to do, right? So that gives you the opportunity that lengthy stay, right? And also it gives you the opportunity to enjoy different types of vacations, right? And for the whole family, that's another thing that is important, right? If somebody wants to go on a bike ride and somebody else wants to meditate, be in the jungle, I mean, you have many different things to do down here. So yes, especially people go for length stays. So that allows for them to come back many times because you see, oh, I didn't get to go here or there. So I'm going to come back next year in a few months or whatever, right? So that helps also for people to come back, right?
Now, so tell us a little bit about the growth over there with Cancun. Tulum is very popular, Riviera Maya. What are the differences? A lot of people ask me that. Hey, Luis, Cancun, of course, Cancun's been around forever. That's been the main hub, right? And then you had Isla Mujeres, you have all that stuff, So how has it changed?
So yeah, and like you said, we have different markets, right? Cancun is with the big resorts. It was like the first destination in Riviera Maya, right? Where the main airport is. But then you have Playa del Carmen, right? Which is one of the top destinations for bachelor parties, right? So you have a lot of, beach clubs, bars, and, for the people that want to have a good time, Playa del Carmen is one of the main destinations. Just is the second place next to Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas is the first place around the world, but the second place is Playa del Carmen, right? So you have that type of destination for the people that want to have fun. Then one of the other main destinations that we have is Tulum, right? So Tulum is more for get in touch with nature. You go with your partner, with your wife, to celebrate an anniversary, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, whatever, right? I mean, and you can, enjoy beautiful beaches. You can have great restaurants, right? Michelin star type of restaurants. Tulum even, it's been in the last few years, top destination with the stars, right? You can see Leonardo DiCaprio, you can see Alicia Keys, you can see Paris Hilton, different type of celebrities. And we have, high-end beach clubs for the celebrities, premium beach clubs. And you have the whole range, right? It depends on what you want to do. But you have a very nice, healthy offer, right? Of, whatever you want to eat. You have very good places to different kinds of beach clubs in the sense of you can work out in front of the sea, right, with nature. Yeah. That's great. I mean, that's been growing in the last few years, right, with all this fitness type of trend. But people enjoy a lot working out in front of the beach. Not me personally, right? I just want to lay in the beach and enjoy a few beers.
Better relax, not to stress your muscles.
Exactly. I like to work out, but not in front of the beach. I mean, I think it's the same, right? If you have beautiful the ocean there, I mean, I would rather go and for a swim or enjoy the beach. But I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? For the very fit, hardcore people that want to be working out even in the beach, that's perfect. You have gyms in front of the beach, right? So that's the beauty as a visitor, right? As a visitor, and also as a investor, right? Because you have a lot of people from all over. Actually, they did recently in the States. They did a survey, a lengthy survey on what are the 10 top world destinations that people are thinking of, dreaming of going as soon as this opens up. And what do you know? Riviera Maya in the top 10 destinations in the world that people are dreaming of going as soon as this opens up, right? And
wow, that's a good point. So okay, let's talk logistics. I fly from United States to Cancun. Cancun's right there. Riviera Maya, how far is it driving down?
Well, I mean, in Cancun is part of the Riviera Maya, right? So you fly to Cancun and you have direct flights from different parts of the States, right? It's very easy, different airlines, different price points. So it's very easy. So you you fly to Cancun, and from there you have all kinds of options, right? You can rent a car that's, safe and cheap. You can, do the bus. You have bus rides that are very, very less than $10. You can go to Playa del Carmen or Tulum in a, top of the line bus. Have your full Wi-Fi. Beautiful bus, right? That you enjoy. And for example, for Playa del Carmen is less than an hour. For Tulum is an hour and a half. Right, okay. But I mean, you're enjoying Wi-Fi and the views and everything, right? I mean, even you can buy a drink or whatever. So that's the other option. You have taxi. It's so close. You can even rent a chauffeur or a taxi driver can take you there, no problem at all. I mean, of course, the most efficient ones are either the bus or rent a car. Those are the most efficient ones. But you have all kinds of options, right? And also, I mean, I was just seeing right now, you can. They are testing a new thing, right? That you can do a drone between Tulum and Playa del Carmen, right? So you can in a drone, right? They take in a drone, you fly it over, right? So it's interesting, right? And then the new technology. Yes, I mean, that's only for one person, right? As of now, but it's a very, very interesting way to do it, right? You can take your luggage and they pick you up in Playa del Carmen and you're in Tulum in no time, and you enjoy the view and the jungle and whatever, right? So you have all kinds of options. And once you're in Tulum or Playa, a lot of people, especially the Europeans, like to do bike riding, right? But you have all, safe taxi drivers. You can even walk there. You can do, cycle there, whatever. I mean, we have different options.
Yeah. Now, question. So you get there and all stuff, and then you have the options, and we're going to go into the real estate part because that's what a lot of people, want to know. So benefits on buying in anywhere in Mexico. You hear the 99-year lease, which is, it's not feasible. It's not. It doesn't exist. Except if it's federal land, that you have to lease it, but it's not. A lot of people think. So I'm an American. I go over there and I want to buy. And I say, Alvaro, I want to buy an American citizen. What do I need to get? What do I need to have to own?
Right. So as an international investor, especially from the United States, as an American, you the main difference is just that you need to get buy through a trust. Why? Because we are close to the shoreline, right? I mean, in Mexico we have this law that needs to be through a trust, right? But once you set up a trust, it's just basically you set it up with the bank of your preference, right? You can choose an international bank that you trust, and you set up a trust that is a relatively easy process to do that we can help you with. Basically, once you set up the trust, you have all the rights and the benefits that you have as an international investor, in the sense that you can, sell the property, you can, inherit it to your child or to your wife or whatever, right? You can donate it, whatever you want to do, right? You have full ownership on that sense. So basically, that's what I meant when that's one of the things what I meant is an investor-friendly country, right? But so basically, it's just that process, and what we do basically is help you throughout the process. In the sense of the trust, it's just you can plan ahead of time. I heard you say in the beginning, and I think it's a very good advice, that right now you can start planning ahead and set up the process of the trust, and this. It just takes some time, additional time. Now, if you have time, that's going to help you, right? And we can help you in that sense that we have partnerships with international law firms. And I know you have very healthy experience on this, investing in Mexico. You help a lot of investors invest in Mexico, in the States. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you can help them. But anyhow, I mean, it's a very good time to take advantage right now of the special conditions that we have in the market right now, and take the time to set up the trust and everything. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah, I think, basically, because I tell people all the time, it's like it's different systems. If you buy, one thing that I say, because I'm a Mexican and American citizen, so I always relate to, as an American, we're spoiled the way we are because everything's DocuSign, everything's electronic, and all like that. You go to another country and they go, well, wait a minute, and that's when people start saying, oh, well, it's not like this in America. So I have a saying all the time, for either Mexican clients buying over here in the US or American clients buying in Mexico, I say, don't Mexicanize the American system, don't Americanize the Mexican system. That's the best. And people will tell me, what did I say? Because in America, we do it this way. And I think that's the biggest trust factor that a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, are you serious? It's like, why is it different? And it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Right. But if you do want to have, benefits, of buying and purchasing down there, they're unbelievable. So for example, $100,000 property I buy down there, how much is my property taxes? Alvaro, how much will my property taxes be?
Right. So yes, I mean, that's we have a very attractive property tax down here, right? That can be like $100 a year, right, for a property like that, right? So
$100 a year. Like, oh my! In San Diego, your average property tax, is $565 a month. A month. So that's why I tell people, look at your investment. How much are you, by signing, by looking at it, by buying it? How much money you're saving if you were to go up in the U.S., Right. And of course, people ask me all the time, well, how does Mexico keep up, with their infrastructure? Well, it's because there's a sales tax. There's a sales tax, everything under the sun in Mexico. And that's their main way to do it. Not like the U.S., sales tax and property taxes, So right. I think, that's a good point. So tell us a little bit about these projects that you have down there in Riviera Maya. It's like I saw them in pretty attractive prices, tell us entry level, mid level, high end, and some of this, of course, investors, what do they look for? Return on investments. So tell us a little bit about that, Alvaro.
So I know, as you know, they say a picture, is worth 1,000 words, right? So do you mind if I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think it's easier that way. So let me share my screen. So I think you need to enable me so I can share my screen.
Let me see. Nico, I think you're enabled. Are you?
Let me check again. So no. It says it's blocked.
I go in your name because you got a full panelist.
Yeah.
Here, hold on once. I'm gonna change you to host.
Okay.
And then I'll give you the thing.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So
You have your share screen?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
How I do. Perfect.
Look at that.
See, let me tell you about this, right? So this is one option, and people like a lot about this because who wouldn't like, to jump right off your, living room in your, studio apartment directly to a semi-private pool in this case, right? Or another advantage of this type of property is, something happens in a couple that one wants to be in the pool and the other one just want to be relaxing, with a drink or something inside of the apartment. And someone can be inside the pool and the other one can be resting in the sofa, right? So that's, it's very attractive, and or somebody can be, taking the sun or whatever. And this type of, swim up, we call it swim up, right? This type of property, back in the day was reserved for the very high-end, resorts in Bora Bora and this type of destination that you have to pay, a few $100s a night, right? 600 upwards at least to be able to enjoy this type of property, right? So you can have this type of apartment like I'm showing you in the screen, for a little over $100,000, right? In one of the top beach destinations in the world, right? So, and later on, I'm going to talk about, hotel administration and return on investment. But I'm going to give you right now just, show you a few properties in the price point so you get an idea, right, on what we have.
So these are turnkey investments, basically. You buy it and it comes with everything, right? With management, with hotel, to rent it, and like that. All they have to do is purchase it, put the money in, and they don't have to worry. Because a lot of people, what they do worry about is who's going to take care of it? Who's going to manage it? Do I trust them, right?
Right, exactly. So yeah, we have right now many developments that we have working with many developers. Right now we have 15 as of now in different stages, right? Once they are already built and ready to go, plus resale properties, right? But we have many different types of products, and actually we are launching 3 new developments in the next couple of months, right? So we have a very dynamic offer, right? And to your point, we have different type of offers, right? We have, turnkey solutions, like you said, with the hotel administration, fully furniture, everything, right? We take care of everything. And we have for different type of investor, right? That wants, I have my body or I want to furniture myself or whatever, right? And we have those type of opportunities also, right? For a different investor type. And we have, traditional hotel administration, and we have free administration. But I'll talk a little bit on that when I talk on the return on investment. So let me show you the type of units and price points, and then we can discuss a little bit on, types of hotel administration and that type of thing, if you don't mind.
Show me the product.
Perfect. So there you go. You have this type of, penthouse with a private pool that have beautiful views, right, to the, very famous Tulum sunsets, right? And these ones, you can get this type of unit for, I believe this one is $155,000 US, right? It's a very, a spacey unit, penthouse type of unit, right? They are very it's in a very good location. It's next to the main mall. They're building like the main mall in Tulum right now, and it's very close to that main mall, so you can get an idea of the type of location. It's prime location. And then you have, a little bit more bigger units, right? This is our, I don't know in square feet, how much would this be?
How many meters?
It's 110 meters.
So it'd be about 1,000 times 10. It's about times 10. So it'd be about 1,100 square feet.
1,100 square feet. There you go. 2 bedroom, 2 full bathroom. Big open spaces, right? For for a Tulum unit. And this one is very good materials, top of the line, construction. Even you also private pools in some of the units, right? You can see right here. So I'm gonna, in this type of unit, you can get it from $230,000 US, right? For right now, right?
Wow.
And what you have here, interestingly, right now, what's going on in the market is, the exchange rate between the dollar and the Mexican peso jumped in like I said, right? This is pretty much rated in the US dollars, but in US dollars. But right now there is a very specific moment in the market that if you buy pesos in the market and you take advantage of this exchange rate, that we have a specific exchange rate for this month and the next one, that is a very attractive exchange rate. What it turns out to be for an American investor that already has US dollars is you get up to, it depends on the units and the developer, but you can get a benefit up to 30% benefit in this type of units, right? So it's, very interesting, right? Right now.
Basically, it would be like, hey, I want to buy this 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom, whatever, but because of what's going on with the peso, you get an upgrade that the developer is willing to give you, right?
Exactly, because they're going to give you a very a special exchange rate, right? So what you do is you buy Mexican pesos with your dollars and pay it in pesos. So what you receive is a big benefit, right? That you can translate up to that percent, right? Yeah. So, and let me tell you, we have, luxury units, right? That you have like this, underground cellar with a private sommelier that you can, show your friends and have dinner with your friends. You have a private canopy by unit. You have, different amenities. Like, for example, in this development, you have, different jacuzzis, and you can have a private massage. You have, many amenities. I just like this one. You can have this rooftop. Wow. I can see the sunset. You have a private pool. You have a bar. Many different types of amenities, right? So let me show you on the return on investment that you were asking me about. Hold on. I'm trying to find the slide that is going to help me with that. Let me move this over. So yeah. So basically this is what we have right here, right? So we have different types of, like we were talking about, right? Hotel administration companies that take over the full, you buy your unit, right? You are the full ownership. You are, entitled to the full capital gains on the unit. You have a specific unit under your name. You can sell it at any time, and all the benefits of owning a unit, right? A real estate investment. But the only difference or the main differentiator here is a hotel administration company administers the whole development, right? And the advantage of that is, first of all, is done as a hotel, right? You've seen it with this type of Airbnb units where, different units, different administrations. So it's very tough to have amenities like a spa, like a restaurant, like a, room service, like many times a pool, etc., etc. All these type of amenities in its like administration of the full building, the full development in order to have this, right? So what you have with this is one administration company administers the full development, and it gives you, first of all, those amenities, right? The second advantage that we have on this is they take over the full hassle of administering this, right? Not only, promoting it, even the decorations, the whole thing, right? And they are hotel administration professional companies that, big names, big brands that have big chains of hotels, and they're finding this, business model to be very interesting for both parts, right? For an individual investor that just is able to buy 1 or 2 units, right, or 3 units, but is not the type of investor that is able to buy a full hotel, right? So, and they are able to grow more rapidly because they don't have to build a hotel, right? They can administer more units. So it's a win-win situation here, right? And
if someone were to buy Airbnbs in the US, right? Instead of buying, for example, give San Diego, a condo at the beach is going to cost $900,000.
Right.
You can diversify yourself.
Exactly.
And buy those, right?
Right.
And it's all well taken care of and everything like that. So you can buy 4 of them, which you have access, and you can buy different products that you can offer, right?
Exactly. Or even, we have properties ranging from even 70 for as low as 75,000, right? For a full unit, right? So, it all depends. We can help you, choose your location depending on your investment profile, right? And what you're looking for, and your preference. We can help you with the type of unit, right? If you your main focus is investing or enjoying for yourself, the type of family that you have, or what do you want to use it for? You want to use it for retirement? It all depends, right? We can help you with that. But the good thing about this is that you can enjoy that somebody takes care of all the hassle and the responsibility, and you just need to do 2 things, right? One thing is use it whenever you want and enjoy it, right? You go and enjoy the beach, the pool, wherever, right? And when it's your own unit, sometimes it happens that nobody's waiting for you, right? Most of the time, right? You have to go to your unit and make sure that the utilities were paid correctly and nothing broke in the previous person that used it and everything. And in here, you have a bellboy is going to receive to the suitcase. You can go directly to the pool, to the restaurant, to the spa, right? So you have nothing to worry about because somebody's taking care of your unit 24/7, right? So when you go, it's like you go to a hotel. The only difference is you are the owner of your own unit. So that's the first thing. You can use it as as any other guest at a hotel. That's one option. And the other option is you receive a return on investment that pretty much, after all expenses is between 8 to 13% return on investment annually, right? It's just the only thing that you need to pay, after this return is just, property tax that we already went over that is, insignificant here in Mexico, right? Compared to the return investment, and also, insurance that is also very, low price, right? For this type of unit, it can be as low as, $300 per year, right? For insurance. So, for in a beach destination location, that's very competitive, right? So anyhow, so what you do is you receive your return on investment each quarter, because we pay quarterly, right? We have different types of units, but each quarter you receive your return on investment, but you also get the full capital gains on your unit. You can sell it at any time to whoever you want. So you have the best of both worlds, right?
Okay. And then on the 8%, is that like the bottom that you get? And what if it comes in at 6% or 7%? Is that what you get?
Right. So we have different types of what do you call it? Different type of hotel administration with different benefits, and some of them even are are willing to guarantee the minimum and not maximum, right? So worst case scenario, you have 8%, right, or 7%. It depends.
And even if it's 6-7%, right?
Exactly. It depends on the type of unit, location, price, etc. Right? But we have some units that are guaranteed, and some units that you have, variable percentage, but you have different benefits, right? So again, we can help you, choose your investment profile. It depends on, right, if it's just your first investment, you want to retire on it in the future, how long you want to use it for, etc. Right? We can help you with that.
It's like a pick and play investment.
Exactly.
Hey, you can pick this one. If you get this one, you get this benefits. If you get this one, you get this benefits and stuff like that. Okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, that's a good thing, right? We have many price points, many different options, size-wise, type of hotel administration. Like I said, right, we have, developments right now, new and pre-sales in different types, on different stages of construction, or even, ready to go. You can receive return investment from the first day, right? Or even resale opportunities, right? So we have a very wide portfolio. So that gives us the option to help you, adapt. We can adapt to your investment needs. Not you don't have to adapt to what we have, right? That sometimes happens in real estate, but it's not the case here.
So in that 8 to 13%, this is a perfect example what you and I talked about and what our team did in Mexico this last January. We closed a rollover IRA. So a lot of people, oh my gosh, how can I invest my IRA? People have talked about it. We've actually done it. We did it with a property over here in Northern Baja in the Rosarito area. Give you the scenario. We had a client, $185,000. Comes to me and he goes, hey, you know what? What if I buy a property with my IRA, take it out? And he's happy that he took it out before this whole madness happened, because he would have lost the whole IRA, right? So what we did is we took that money, and the entity that purchased it in Mexico is a corporation in Mexico, an LLC per se, equivalent to an LLC in the United States. And that LLC in the United States owns the one in Mexico. So it's basically the way it goes around, and it never touches the principal, which then you don't get, fined for IRS taxes or anything like that. And the return on investment right now so far, it's about, 8.5 to 9%, which they're getting better than the stock market. So I think that's going to be a shift and a change that's going to help out Mexico real estate one way, and then also for Americans to be more attractive. Because what's the biggest thing that, like you said, the Americans, we're based on mortgages, right? Oh, how much are you going to give me? How much are you going to give me? In Mexico, they go, well, we have different kind of mortgages. As you and I know, mortgages started maybe 15 years ago in Mexico, if that, and we're talking like 5 years or 10 years. So it's kind of nice, because then what you can do is take money that you already earned and put it to make more money later on down the road.
Exactly.
What do you think of that concept?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, like you said, right? I mean, in the markets, right? In the different type of investment vehicles, you mentioned the stock market, right? As you know, we have different stages, right? Periods of time in, decades or whatever. It depends on how lengthy it is. But it makes more sense to invest in the stock market. Sometimes it makes more sense to invest in real estate. It all depends. I mean, we advise to diversify, and that's always, something diversified in type of assets, right? But specifically, I think you mentioned it, right? I mean, we've seen a shift in the market, right? We had very high valuations in the main indexes, right? Like, S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, whatever, right? In the different indexes and stocks markets in the States. So what you get is when you have high valuations, the potential and the volatility is, something for somebody, especially for somebody that is close to retirement, something that you don't want, right? If you are, 5 to, even 10 years close to retirement, you don't want to, have a dip in the market affect you and eat the whole winnings or gains that you gain in the next 7 to 10 years. They just wipe it off, right? So I think it's going to come a shift in the market where people, for sure, this is going to accelerate the number of people that are looking at self-directed IRA and invest in real estate, especially, in places like what we are talking about, Riviera Maya, that have, a very high return on investment in a very steady way, right? And, they are dollarized, they can be reinvested directly in your IRA account. And as you mentioned, also, you also have tax advantages, right? So, I mean, it's relatively easy to do it. You just need to follow the rules, right? You need to follow the rules to do it correctly. But once you follow the rules, this is a very safe investment. It's something that you can not only get capital gains on, but also get a return investment, right?
Yeah, and I think, right now is when we talk about crisis. What does a crisis make a human being do? Realize they want security.
Exactly.
And right now, this is where I'm 100%, not 100%, but I'm pretty almost 100%. Real estate's going to get us out of this crisis. And the reason why, some numbers in the United States, for example, it's, 37% of Americans own their house free and clear. And your average American has $172,000 of equity. So right now they're saying, oh my gosh, the market's going to crash like 2008. No, because we're not upside down on that part. It's basically what we're doing is, people are going to think it twice. Hey, what do I want as a security? What do I want as a security? What do I want to do in the future? It's basically, put their money where they're, they can invest it and make money, right? So right now, what a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? Real estate would be awesome. And I don't have $200,000, $300,000. But if I have under $200,000, this is perfect,
Okay.
That, so you can make some money in the future and all like that. Real estate is always an asset that's protected. You and I, I'm from Mexico, you're from Mexico. And what do our relatives always say? Tengo un terrenito. It's basically, I have my little land, my lot. Where is it? Up there in the mountain, man. But it's security, right? It's security for them. And I think for us, it's like, giving these opportunities to people out there, to American investors, foreign nationals. And one of the biggest markets that's going down there, it's first generation Mexican Americans. Mexican Americans that say, I love Mexico, I love what my mom and dad are about, but I don't want to live there. But I want to own there, right?
Right.
You agree with me, Alvaro?
Exactly.
So it's like, I think it's one of those deals that it's really something that people will look at. And I think people right now that we're being daydreaming, I think, we need to go out there. So what I want to do, anything else, Alvaro, that, selling points or any points that you like about that area?
Well, I mean, there are many things, right, from the area that we can discuss, right? But there is a very special market that has a lot of opportunities, right? I mean, we can talk about, many hours in here, but what I can tell you is just imagine this market, right? You have very good price to quality ratio right now, right? And properties starting at a very low price compared to the US, right? So that's a very, interesting point. Then you have very high return investment, a very investor-friendly country, right? A dollarized market, right? A very safe investment in the sense that it's, in real estate with all the characteristics, legal. We can, discuss, one-on-one with the people that are interested, right? Because I invite you, that we can go one-on-one with, people that are interested or asking questions, right? On, legal things, how am I protected, etc. Right? We are very open on that, right? We want to feel all the buyers to be safe, right? They feel safe buying with us, right? So, I mean, they can review or check with the lawyers or whatever, right? With the lawyers that they trust. We're open to that, right? Even the contracts are in English and in Spanish, right? So they can review it, and we review the contracts in many parts of the world, and attorneys from all over, right? So they can do that. So, and the other thing is, it's a market that is, in a high potential part of the growth, right? And the stage of the market right now is very specific, and a lot of big investment groups are making very large investments in this, right? So that gives you an idea of the potential in this market, right? And we can talk many things on this, but also another thing that I forget is for a retirement place. I mean, this is something that is an investment, right? And something, like you said, gives you safety, and also it grows your net worth. But also, who wouldn't want to have a property that's for those years, right, that you don't want to work anymore, you have the possibility not to work anymore, right? What you do is you go to the beach, you enjoy, you spend your last few years enjoying, the weather, the jungle, the beach, walking, yoga, whatever you want to do, right, in your late years. So this is a property that who wouldn't like to have a property in one of the top beach destinations in the world, right? So anyhow, I mean, we can talk, as you can see, this is a topic I'm very passionate about, right, that I like a lot. So we can talk very lengthy, but I know we have,
So, what, I want to go back to people that are watching, and we're going to have this recorded, and we're going to keep playing it and everything. And, we're here for you. My team and those international group over there in Mexico, I have my own company. We work with people like Alvaro. And basically what we do is we connect, and we know the systems. My niche market is bilingual, bicultural, binational. I know how to act like a Mexican when I need to act like a Mexican. I know how to act like American when I need an American, but also I know how to do business on both countries from both sides, and how we can bridge it. I think that's the biggest, what do you call it? Not lack, but hole in our industry sometimes, Right. There's people that, franchises like us, Century 21, they do Mexico and they do America, but there's no bridge. It's like, hey, that understands both. I understand your point, but that's not how it is in Mexico, right? Or I understand your point, that's not how it is in America. And having distrust relationships with people like Alvaro, it'll make it easier for the clients to come to us and be able to help them out in the future. So Alvaro, I want to thank you for your time. Like I said, Sip and Learn San Diego, this is awesome. This is not the last time we're going to hear from Alvaro. We're going to do a webinar in the future where we're going to explain a project, and we'll do like little segments. That's where I'm going with a lot of developers, little segments of 15, 20 minutes, explain them on Facebook Live and say, hey, you know what? This is what you expect. And then, pre-recorded, recorded, and then we can send it out to clients. It's all about education. It's about trust, right? And it's about basically making the best move for your return on investment. Those are the three things that people look for, and I think that's something that in relationships like Alvaro and us with Luis Mendoza and Associates, we have, and we can give them to them. Alvaro, I want to thank you for your time. Any last words?
No, just, feel free to contact Luis, right? So we can have a session, right, with any questions and, go any deeper, and, happy to be here anytime. Thank you again for the invitation. It's a pleasure. Inviting everybody to call you.
And then and any agents, if you're in the industry, you guys know that I do business in Mexico. I give referral fees, for a Mexican client. For real estate agents that want to serve their Mexican clients. So that's something. It's a win-win for everyone. So I totally appreciate it, Alvaro. I will touch base with you later. And thank you for your time. And what a great presentation. And looking forward to selling some of these great properties.
Thank you, Luis. Have a great afternoon. See you soon.